Hello, hello, hello. Make it seasonal. Wait a minute. Do a bit of... Just get you in the mood. It's Christmas coming. It's coming. I think my hat's in the cupboard. I need to get my hat though. But it can be next week. You don't want to do it all at once, do you? You don't want to use it all. You all right? Get a bit of early dog cam in. There is some dog cam. Very good, very good. There you go. So even got a bit of early dog cam in there, which is good, isn't it? Where was I? Sorry, doing something. That'll do it. Hey. Don't mind me. Oh, let's see if there's anybody in the chat room. I doubt it. No one in. Hans is in. It's an hour later here. It's night is still young. Exactly. So good night. Oh, that's it then. It's just he's gone. He's gone already. Hans has gone because their clocks are forward, and that's that. And David says, "Hey, it's Father Christmas. Give me some money." Father Christmas doesn't give out money, does he? And anyway, you've probably been on the naughty list. You give me the vibe of someone who listens to Stephen Wilson. Harry's in. He says, "All right, indeed." And Renee's in. The watermelon is at the building. Yes, it's that time of the year where we blow the dust off the virtual baubles and the transparent. Is it? I don't know. Is it? Wait, what was it? Is that a tiff or a? I don't know. It's something or other. It's. Dave says I was quoting the Kinks. Never heard of them. Don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's that time of the year again where we hurtle towards the end of the year, and we wonder to ourselves, where the hell did that go? What happened there? So yeah, what happened? What happened to the year? So anyway, what does anyone want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Because I ain't got any clues. You know, I come here with nothing, and I'm hoping that someone out there will help. Simon says, "Good evening. Oh, good evening. Hope is good. Get into the Christmas spirit." Indeed, feeling very, very, very Christmassy. They're going to put me decorations up for real tomorrow. So I'm just getting in the mood, as it were. So yeah, so I have to make some room to put the old tree up. Like I said, my 25-year-old tree, which I bought from Woolworths all those years ago, and a lot of decorations and the tinsel and the baubles. All those are 25 years old as well. Though I've got a couple of Charlie Brown, Snoopy ornaments that I saw, and I'm going to add those to the tree this year to make it a bit more interesting. So that should be fun. David says, "Haha, funny you mentioned Stephen Wilson. I actually used to be a big fan. Then I come across some of your videos. You made him talking about him being contrived, and you convinced me otherwise." Oh dear. Oh no. I didn't want that to happen. I wanted you to come around in your own time, you know. I don't want to be a catalyst for this. I just want people to be a little bit more analytical in their listening. Dusty says, "Thanks for putting up the Father Progmus video." That's all right. It took a lot of effort last year, and like I said, I was frightfully disappointed with the initial response. So I thought, well, it'll go up again. You know, I might even get the original one up and dust that off. I might have the original footage somewhere. I could do a 4K upscaling, and that could be fun. I might even do. I don't know. I've been thinking about doing another one, but there's only so many times you can reference Stephen Wilson, isn't there? Or is there? I don't know. But thinking of various Christmas carols where I can insert the name Stephen Wilson, because it's funny. Well, at least it makes me laugh. I don't know if it makes the dog's in and out. She's like a fart in a colander. She doesn't know which hole to come out first. She's in, she's out, she's in, she's out. Yeah. She like me on my honeymoon. There you go. So there we go. David says, totally honest story, no word of it. No, I have to believe anything that I come across. I believe, and then I forget about it, and I dismiss it. I believe for a brief instant, and then I ignore it. But you convinced me completely that Wilson is a fraud and a bullshit artist. He's awful now. Can't stand the guy. Well, again, I wouldn't mind if what he did was authentic, but he's always come from a position of deeply emulating other people. If you can show me the authentic voice of Stephen Wilson, then I'd be interested. And I don't think we've truly seen that. He's like Peter Sellers, you know. Peter Sellers always said that there's nobody there. There is no Peter Sellers. He's just a series of characters that he plays. And I think that's very much the same for Wilson. I think that I don't think there's a lot of meat on the bones of what he does. And that's it. I mean, again, I've been aware of him for a long time via No Man and his own things, and they couldn't make it in the 90s. That's all you need to know. And the 90s was a real big important moment for British music. It was the last big, cultural movement, and they couldn't get arrested. And again, go online, go on YouTube, you'll see him playing barefoot, in some field in Belgium or something, and that's the limit of it, But he is an indicator of just how dire the music scene is now, because they always say shit floats to the top, and when there's nothing holding that shit down, it bobs right up in the bowl, and that's where we're at. It is truly vacuous, contrived, and very shallow. Again, he done a song called Shallow. It's about himself. I think again he's one of those people who thinks he's a lot cleverer than he is, and that's why him and the featured artists are suited. There you go. Rena says, let's talk about I.O. Go on then. So he said, oh no, it wasn't like I watched the video and then it happened immediately. It took me ages to sink in, but I find your arguments against him quite difficult to deny. See, the thing is, and this is the same with all this stuff. I come from a position where I want to like this stuff because everybody else likes it. I don't want to be the guy outside the circle. I hate being that guy. I want to be in with everybody else. I want to be everyone's chum, but I have this thing where I have to tell the truth and I can't help it. And so I call it how I see it. And, and it's got worse and worse and worse over the years. It's just got worse and worse and worse. And frankly, I find it ridiculous. And I find the adulation ridiculous. And again, I told you there was I don't want to repeat the story. Go and watch a few. Go and watch a few of these back. You have grown women crying in the presence of Stephen Wilson like he's Elvis fucking Presley, and you go, really? Is this what we've got for culture now? Is this it? Is this it? What a sorry state we're in, And yeah, and that's that really. And Dusty says, are you going to be affected by Spotify changes? Each song needs 1,000 views before they monetize. Oh yeah, I don't make much money out of Spotify, and the money I do make will go to Taylor Swift, I imagine. I hope she enjoys my micro pennies. Again, Oh God, if I could, I'd pull all my stuff off of Spotify, but it's difficult because I don't know. Is it difficult? Maybe it isn't, but I don't really look at the streamers as a source of income. I look at it as a place where people might find me and then might try and find the source, as it were, and come to maybe the Bandcamp page or this. So again, if you're not on there, then it's one less place that you can be found. Not that, again, I don't really. Oh, I'm terrible. I don't know why I do any of this because I'm not very good at promoting myself, and it just exists. If I was smart, I'd have figured out how to get more people to listen to what I do. But I just put it out there, and if you like it, that's great. That's a thrill. I don't see myself as a proper musician. I'm a chancer. I find music difficult, and that's why I do it. And the stuff that comes out is the stuff that I have enjoyed or I think is good, and so when it comes to actually like saying this is great and you should listen to this, I feel a bit of a fraud for saying that, because I enjoy it because I made it. But then I'd probably enjoy it if I was not me. I might enjoy it, but I make it for me. You see, because all art you make for yourself. I don't make it for anybody else. And so once it's done, and then I put it out there and I just leave it. I'm a terrible parent. I just put it there and fend for yourself. But yeah, the whole Spotify thing is just the worst. It's just I don't understand it. They say it's because there's been people gaming the system by releasing very small songs, like a few seconds, and so they kind of have this kind of scattergun, shotgun effect on the playlists. And again, I don't understand how the algorithm works, and so. But anyway, people have gamed the system, and because of that. If you've got, like you say, less than 1,000 streams a year on a song, then you don't get any money. And yeah, I'm affected, but it's I don't know, maybe a couple of quid a year, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really do enough to promote it, so go and listen to it. That's me promoting it. But again, where you make your money now is via things like Bandcamp. If you can get people to follow you, you're looking for, is it 1,000? If you can have 1,000 dedicated fans who are willing to support you, then you can make a living. That's the theory. That's the old saying: 1,000 dedicated people who will follow you. I haven't got that. I've got nowhere near that. I've got about maybe 5 to 10. If the wind's blowing in a good direction, 3 if I'm trying to flog some CDs. It's getting harder to flog CDs anyway, because I don't think people really want those shiny trinkets. They want, the streaming's happened, and just as streaming takes off, it doesn't pay, so. And I just don't know why I bother doing any of it. It comes to the point where I look at all this stuff. I don't get me wrong. I like the guitars; they please me. I like looking at them and playing them and tinkering with them and cleaning them and putting strings on them. There's something, I don't know, religious about it. But you look at it and go, why have I bothered with all of this? Why have I bothered with any of it? And that's it. Maybe one day somebody will get it. I think the aim is to get a fan so dedicated that they'll meet you on the street corner and shoot you dead. That's the ultimate aim for every artist, to have a fan that dedicated that they're willing to take you out with a bullet. I think that's what we're all looking for, because that's dedication. So, it went a bit deep, didn't it? But I don't know. Yeah, Spotify's shit, and they've done a kind of weird, perverse, upside down, inside out Robin Hood, where they rob from the poor and give it to the rich. Thanks. What can you do? I don't even know if I can extricate myself from Spotify now, but well, there goes the dog. But like I said, if you're not in the game, you're not of the game. Is that a saying? Sounds like it should be. And I want to be of the game, so I've got to be in the game. You're either in the tent pissing out or outside the tent pissing in. And I want to be pissing out, not pissing in. I want to be in the tent. A lot of metaphors flopping around there. Shane goes, sad news about Danny Lane. Danny Lane. Moody Blues, Wings, he's dead. It happens to us all. But I'm still here. There you go. Grant says, I like your Christmas background. It's actually Christmas foreground. See, look, for it is in front of me. Because if it was behind me, then it'd have to be real. And I'm not ready to put tinsel in the background. So you got this virtual. I mean, I can turn it off. If I'm getting bored with it, I can just like turn it off. And I can turn it on again. Turn it on again. That'd be a great name for a song. I'm going to write that down. J.A. says, Darren, question I've been meaning to ask for ages. What's the artwork in the frame to the left of the caravan sleeve? The one that's Laurie Anderson. It's a promotional 12-inch EP from the United States live box set. So it's like an edited one. But I like it because it's kind of arty. And everybody asks about it because nobody knows what it is. So that's it. But I could have IO up, couldn't I? I could have Peter Gabriel's face staring at me and scaring everyone. You feel like you should know it. Well, it's Laurie Anderson. Hold it. Let me turn the. It's Laurie Anderson, that's right. And it's a promotional copy, not for sale. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 track, 33 and a third EP. Like I say, it's cuts from the United States box set, which is, I don't know, again, I got it when vinyl was cheap. I don't know if it's worth anything, but I got it quite a while back off of eBay when, like I say, you could still pick up stuff for cheap, and I saw it and I thought, oh, I like the look of that. And it's a nice little EP actually, if you don't want to listen to the entire box set, which is pretty long. It's pretty long. Rene says, which one do you like better, Bright Side Mix or the Dark Side Mix? You have to watch the review, won't you? I'm not going to tell you now. That would be cheeky. Grant says, it's time of year to be happy with your family, even though it's a stay-at-home Christmas. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. You don't have to be happy with your family. What is it, an order? You're ordering me to be happy with my family? What if I'm indifferent to my family? What if you can't stand your family? What if it was only, I don't know, a matter of time that you would be packing your suitcase and leaving your family? I'm talking about you, not me. I'm perfectly happy where I am. But you shouldn't order people to be happy at Christmas. Be miserable at Christmas. Do what you got to do. It's Christmas. See, the problem is when you tell people to do something and they don't want to do it, it just makes the whole situation worse. So I'd say, have an indifferent Christmas, everyone. Have an indifferent Christmas. Jay says, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Polite questions. Grant says, looking good health-wise, much better than last Christmas. What, for you? Well, that's good. I'm really glad to hear that. Really glad. Really glad you're a lot better. And that's all you can get. And they can't wrap up your health, can you? You can't put a bow on it because that's all you've got. Remember that, kids. Your health. That's the only thing you've got in this world. Time and your health. And all you can be guaranteed of is death and taxes. And all you've got is time and health. And neither of those pay your taxes. But they do contribute to your death. Oh, this is cosmic, man. We've gone cosmic already. And I've only been on 20 minutes. 20 minutos. So, yeah, what else should we talk about? I feel like I've run out of steam already. This is disgraceful. So you want me to talk about I.O.? Well, I was going to do a review of it, But the problem is I've listened to it. It's probably what you're going to hear now is my thoughts that I'm going to put down in review. So what you're going to hear is you're going to hear it twice. Oh, I know you're not ordering me. I was being funny. Come on, it's a joke. It's meant to be funny. You're meant to laugh. You're meant to go, ha, look at his dry humour. He's being funny. I should flash up a laughing emoji so you know when to laugh. I need one of those laugh tracks. And then you'd know I was being funny. What was I talking? Oh, that's it. I.O. I.O. is an album by Peter Gabriel. It's taken him 21 years to make. That's it. That's the review. Is it worth waiting 21 years? No, not really. I'll tell you what it has done. It's made me appreciate Up a lot more. Just saying. Just saying. I think I hear the shuffle of a hot beverage. Here comes the hot beverage delivery system. Thank you. Very hot, very beveragey. Thank you. And that was that. Obviously, I'm going to complain about the length. It's too long. The songs are too long. Blah 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 blah. And the thing is it's probably the album I've listened to the most ever in the history of if anything. It feels like I've been listening to the whole album for a year. I haven't. You know, I kind of ducked out halfway through listening because I was trying to do a review, and a review every time there was a song, and it was just boring me, and I think it was boring everyone else. So I thought, I'll stop doing it. It's boring. And then I dipped back in again for like the last bit. And, you know, but I've listened to it a lot. I've listened to all the mixes numerous times, though I've only listened to the surround sound once. But I've listened to it digitally. I've listened to it vinylly. I've vinylly listened to it. Yeah. Andrew's in. Good evening. And yeah, I mean, you know. He says, I've got the Beatles Red Blue box set. Ooh, arc at him. Arc at him. Showing off with his Beatles box set. Is it good? Is it good? I'll tell you, the Beatles, they're never going to catch on, you know. Never going to catch on. So, yeah, it's you know, it's long. It's kind of predictable. There's a lot of themes that we've run over again, you know, grief, death. You know, the main problem with it is him using the same tone palette all over. You know, it's just the same old, same old. Oh God, here comes the bloody colliery band again. Oh no, not the strings. We did the strings on Up. You know, and I can't stand it when bands, rock stars, whoever use strings. Only the Beatles are allowed to do that, and that's it. I find it utterly diabolical. And then there's the lyrics. You know, some of the lyrics are woefully bad. Stuff going out, stuff coming in. I've actually rewritten that song in my head. I've got a better lyric that fits, that scans, that is more sensible than that. And I find that irritating. I mean, there are bits I like, and there are bits that, you know, I'm indifferent to. But it's that thing. It's been 21 years, so you're kind of grateful for it. You know, it's like a starving man, and you offer him the one thing he doesn't want to eat, but he's hungry, so he'll eat it anyway. Shit sandwich. Spinal Tap reference. And it's like that, really. And so, because there is a dearth of culture, and instead people are crooning out to Stephen Wilson fucking records, Peter Gabriel, it looks like he's made Dark Side of the Moon times a million in this oasis, you know, this oasis of music in a desert of mediocrity, mainly fueled by Stephen Wilson and the like. So, 5 stars, 5 stars. Oh, excellent. Oh, I could cry. I'm so happy. But then you've got to compare it to his other work, and that's where it doesn't hold up. You know, you go, like I said, even Up sounds more interesting sonically. You know, and what's the lack of the problem with this album is there's a lack of guest artists, guest performers. I mean, fuck, he's got Brian Eno on it. Oh, great. He's the last person you want. But then I guess they're probably sharing stories about freeing Palestine, you know. But I imagine Gabriel rolls his eyes at him when he starts going on about Russia and Ukraine. Grant says, Peter's production is near perfect. I hear. Need a better to hear, really hear. That's upgrade to hear up. Okay. His production, his production's all right. But if you use the same instrumentation, if you use the same sounds, if you've got, I don't know, riffs that are borrowed directly from, like, I don't know, digging in the dirt, you know, you're just kind of running around in circles. These people, and again, I'm thinking also of the new Jean-Michel Jarre album. These people were, what's the word? Pushed by technology. All of these, him, Jarre, whatever, Kate Bush, they use technology to bring their sound to us. You know, we create sounds that we wouldn't necessarily be aware of, and so it always sounded like the future was calling. And now it's the past calling. You know, so none of you don't have the invention. You just don't get the invention on these records that you used to have, because I guess there's been no music. You know, we've had the synthesizer, you know, for, you know, was it 40 years now? The various iterations of that, and digital modelling and whatnot. And again, what's the guitar? The guitar's been a guitar for how many years? Stagnant. It's a stagnating industry. You know, there's no new sounds to be found, and so it feels very familiar. It feels very, you know, and also his vocal performance he's not doing the emotive stuff. He's doing everything rather low key, and again, that's fine. He's old. I get that. But like I said, just compare it to Up. There's more variety. There's more texture, you know. And you don't have the guest appearances like the Blind Boys of Alabama on Sky Blue, which is just, that's sublime. It transcends the track. The track is lifted by their contribution. The awful sampling of Nasrat Fateh Ali Khan on Signal to Noise, it does lift the track, but, you know, it's a shame that it was like a ropey sample. And you don't get that with this new one. This new one's pretty vanilla in comparison. And again, if you go back to all these records, right back to the first one, there's always guests on there. There's always, you know, guitarists or singers or whoever who are, you know, bringing the texture. I mean, even, you know, Tony Levin's contributions are muted in comparison to some of his work on Gabriel's records. I mean, crikey, they could have just fucking sampled him and played it on the keyboard. But you see, I don't want to do a review. I'm waiting for the dust to die down, because I do not want the Gabriel fans to come in and moan at me. It's boring. So I'm like the Stephen Wilson one. I'm gonna let the dust die down, and then I'll put the review out. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, but then I'm missing out on all those lovely views, and views equals money, and I do like money. I really do. You know, but I just don't want all the fucking crybabies as I speak my truth, my opinion. Oh, how can you say that? What have you done? You haven't listened to it enough. Oh, fuck, I've listened to it more times than you can imagine. I feel like I've lived it. I feel like I've shat it. I feel like, you know, it's running through my veins. I feel infected by it. But, on the other hand, there are some nice bits on there. 4 Kinds of Horses. I really like that one. I think that one's a good one. But it needs like a central performance. It needs a play on there to lift it. You know, in the old days, if it would have been done at the time of Us, there would have been, I don't know, Djavan Gasparin playing Duduk on it. Just saying, I'm just putting it out there. And that's the difference. Of course, he's dead now, but there are other players are available, and I think this is what those songs need. They're rather kind of flat. They're kind of flat. You know, and a lot of the inventiveness is gone. It's more a traditional record. It's more of a, you know, it's more of a trad album. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing exciting there. So there's that one. The song he did about his mother was nice. The last track, it's all right. Yeah, it's his Beatles moment. All you need is love. Give peace a chance. That kind of thing. Happy Christmas, war is over. It's all that rolled into one. All that and World War II. So, you know. So that's that. Andrew said, well, yes, did it. Okay. And David said, is Gabriel's pro-Palestinian position new? I remember he used to be like Hugh down saying he wasn't pro-Palestinian or pro-Israel. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say. He's like me. I'm in the middle of it all, and I think it's all terrible. And if I had my way, I'd bang their fucking heads together, and I'd take their religious texts and burn them in front of them because, you know, militant atheism is the future. I think it's all awful. But you've got to pick a side. You've got to pick a side. I'll just imagine that he'd probably got Eno there pretending that he's pro-Palestine, otherwise Eno wouldn't work with him. Wouldn't want to annoy Roger Waters. Alex said, it's his evening, and Grant says, lots of new stuff from Ice to stick, but same sound of music, so no analogue mistakes like Peter's early records. Nog, yeah, well, you know. Sonic says, Up was a good album. It was hard to follow a great album like Us. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of time for that record. I think, again, the problem with Up is there's a couple of tracks on there that I'm not totally fond of, like the Barry Williams show and was it My Head Sounds Like That? I think they're just absolute awful. They really kind of they kind of really disrupt the album. And originally, Burn You Up, Burn Me Up, Burn You Up, Burn Me Down, Burn Me Up, Burn You Up, and whatever, you know that one. Burn you up, I'm gonna burn you down. That one was meant to be on it because it was on. They had a different track list and a different running order for the promo CDs, and at the last minute he pulled it. And I think, you know, if they'd have knocked those two tracks off and put that one on, one, the album would have been a bit shorter, and two, it would have had something a bit funky in the middle just to, you know, break it up a bit. But, you know, he knows what he's doing. So Alex says, oh dear, got Equinox Infinity the other week. It's not too good, is it? Love the original Equinox. Glad it was only $5.50 on CD, but the third CD with Oxygen, I just can't get into it. Well, all the sequels are sequelitis. There's only one good sequel, and that's Tudor Bells 2. That's it. You buy it because you're a fan. You listen to it and you go, oh yeah. I mean, Equinox, and I just the other ones, Oxygen 89, whatever it is. Again, when he did Oxygen 2, which was the end of the 90s, I think it was a novelty. He thought, oh, this is good. He's following Mike Oldfield and his, you know, Tubular Bells shenanigans. You know, and then it's like, you know, do you really need to do sequels? Do you really need to? Do we need trilogies? Do we need 3 of them? And they do it because they can, and they know it's going to shift units, and it's a bit cynical now. You know, that's the problem. It's all a bit cynical, isn't it? Really, but no, it's not. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good. And Alex also adds, I really like the original Oxygen and the second Oxygen album, but struggle with the third one. Yeah, well, the second one's a bit of novelty, so I have a bit of fondness for it because, again, I think that was the good old days when I was in gainful employment, and I think I bought that one off the man at the stall in, down Lower Marsh. You know, and it was, like I said, a bit of a thrill. But again, as it's gone on, it's just, you just go, do I need this? What am I going to go back to? You're going to go back to the first album. You're going to go back to the first 2. Equinox, I think, is, again, I prefer Equinox over Oxygen. As the years have gone by, I tend to drift more towards that one. You know. Grant says, Peter did ride the subway where I live, recording his first album in Toronto. I always like that about him. What, he was in Toronto? Oh, that's all right. So there we go. So everyone, what's your favourite sequel? What's your favourite sequel? That's a good one. Like I said, mine is Tudor Bells 2. I like that one. The only downside to that is it hasn't got Vivian Stanchel on it, because he got very, very drunk and insulted Mike Oldfield and said, I made Tudor Bells. It was me. Without me, the album would be nothing. It wouldn't be half as successful if it wasn't for me. And they fell out. And then Stanchel sobered up and realised his mistake, apologised, and that's why he's on the Bell remix for the single. Yeah. So what do we learn from that? Don't have a drink problem. Yeah. Don't have a drink problem, folks. Oh dear. Oof. Any more for any more? I've got 2 likes and only 19 people. Come on. Hit the like button. Come on. Go on. You know you can do. You know where the like button is. You don't need me to show you. It's down there somewhere. Or maybe it's up there. It might be 10 years in the future and it's there. Or it might be there. It might be there. Oh, Payne's in. So just got here. Lots of trimming up. Trimming's up, I noticed. Yeah, well, again, I'm doing my little bit for Christmas. For it is the season of goodwill to all men, except Stephen Wilson fans. Those bastards, they should just be ignored until they learn the error of their ways, like David did. What's my opinion of Omadorn? I think it's a really good album. You know that. Come on, I've done a review. How many times have I reviewed it? Alex says, you're spot on about Tudor Bells 2. Good sequel. I'm always right. I'm always right. No, I think it's just. I think actually, and again, this is a controversial opinion. I think it's a better album than the original. Oh my god! Because it flows better. It's it just the problem with Tubular Bells. That's the French edition. If you buy it in France, you have to ask for Tubular Bells. It sounds like you're really annoyed or a bit grumpy, doesn't it? It kind of peters out. It peters out a bit, doesn't it? There's a lot of lulls in the energy, whereas I think with 2, it's consistent. It's consistently interesting. You know, and I do enjoy it. I get more enjoyment from it. You know, that's the thing. I get more enjoyment. Though I do like the first side of the first one. It's just fantastic. But second side, I think they might have been better off swapping the sides. Start off with the really quiet, boring shit, and then end with, you know, and Tubular Bells. You know, that's how it should. And then the album should have ended. Maybe. And then going to Sailor's Hornpipe. See, that would have been a better ending. Andrew says, Darren, I got a record by Klaatu in my local charity shop. It's supposed to be 70s prog. Klaatu? Oh no. Aren't that's the band that they thought was the Beatles? Is that the one? And really thick people go, that's the Beatles. The Beatles did an album in a different name. Isn't that the band? They're absolute dog shit. Sorry. Gray says, it may flow better, but it doesn't sound as good. I can't think of any sequel I prefer. And Payne says, La Belle's Tubular. Or the La Belle Première. But if you've got the tubular, you've got to have the tubular bit. Oh, sacre bleu. I think there is actually a French dub, isn't there? Klaatu did the original for Calling Occupants, covered by the Carpenters. That's it. I knew they did something. I knew they were responsible for something, some musical crime. Oh, the Carpenters. That bird from the Carpenters always looks like she needs a good meal, doesn't she? What's that all about? Oh, must be up there. Where have you gone? Nope, that ain't it. I've lost something. I've lost something. I've lost a CD. No. Where has it gone? Is that you there? Nope. This is what happens when I don't put my my CDs back properly. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, that's not good. Oh no, I'm going to have to turn the house upside down. Oh well, I'm sure it'll turn up eventually, he said. It'll turn up one day. Oh, what did I do with it? Oh no. Oh no, I'm never going to find it now. Oh well. I'll look in the morning. Maybe I'll find it then. Maybe I'll put it on there. Don't worry, I was just looking for a CD. You know what it's like when you put a CD and you go, where did it go? Where did the CD go? Nobody knows. Don't worry about it. Alex says, On the Dawn is one of Mike's best albums. I agree, and I think I'm the only person who likes to return to On the Dawn. Not as much as the original, but lots of classical guitars on Return, which I like. Sounds better on vinyl. The mix on surround sound and on digital is those nylon guitars are just they're really and they're a lot softened. They're softened on the vinyl version. Dog says, I remember Chibbles at Edinburgh Castle. It was a great TV event back then. Fond memories. Yes, with John Gordon Sinclair being the MC. And miming. There was a lot of miming in that, wasn't there? If I remember correctly. Carpet always used to be filed under easy listening, Sir Andrew. And Grace says, On Dawn is my favourite Mark Oldfield album. One of my favourites by anybody ever. The guitar solo at the end of side 2 always blows my head off. It's a good record. Grant says the show the Klaatu did here sold out. Fans thought it was the Beatles and were disappointed big time. Only show they ever did. And Grace says, no, side 1, not side 2. Yeah, Omadon, yeah. Payne says, where's the French version? I'm not even going to go there. Oh dear, maybe not. What's that? We've lost all the French viewers. Oh, that's just terrible. What can we do? What can we do to save the French contingent? Not a lot. It's like I had somebody, there was a comment on my Peter Gabriel unboxing, but it's in German, right? The guy left the comment in German, so that's all you need to know really. He took exception at my review. Where is it? He says, Geh doch mal zum Therapeuten und erzähl ihm von deinem Problem mit Germany. He didn't like it. And I said the joke was more about a necessity to have such a big prominent sticker stating that it was hergestellt in Deutschland, but you're German, so you don't do humour. Because did you see the size of that Made in Germany sticker? It was huge. It was huge. It couldn't get any bigger, could it? But you know, what can I say? Germans bombed my great aunt and her 2 babies, so it's still sore. It's still sore. Payne says, I remember noticing Mike Oldfield playing a PRS in Edinburgh. Yeah, he played PRS for a while. Yeah, I've got one. I think I've showed you. It's one of the Harwood collections. I'm still debating to keep it or not because it's one of the older guitars. I've actually got the receipt for it, which is nice. So I'm kind of holding on to that one. PRSs, they are utterly dull guitars. They are without character. They are real kind of beige workman-like instruments that are very well made. They're very nice to look at, but bland. They're just utterly bland. No character to them at all. And I want to like them. I really do, because I do like the look of them. And there's a hollow body one that they do. There was one up in like Black Friday, so I nearly bought it. And it's like, because I just wanted to try this actual hollow body guitar, but it was a PRS, and I've played a couple of PRSs because they're in the collection, and I'm not impressed. You know, they're just really bland. The thing is they play really well. They're really nice instruments, but they're bland. Just depressingly bland. You want something with a bit of character. You want something that makes you go, ooh. Now again, there are many different guitars. There are many different guitars, and I know that from experience. There are many guitars. Some guitars are easy to play and are easy on the hand. You go, and there are some guitars that make you work a bit, make you dig in, you know, and you go, ooh, you're a fruity one. You're being a bit saucy, and you have to think a bit. But then there are PRSs which are really easy to play, and you just go, this is too easy. I don't know if I'm enjoying this. And it sounds really inconsequential. Like I say, I like a bit of weird in there. I like a little bit of eccentricity. It's like Gibson Les Paul. Oh, the blandest guitars you can buy. I can see why everyone buys them, because they make rock guitar sounds. If you want that sound from that Bowie song, if you want that song, sound from that other song, it's awful instruments, awful. Sorry, you're getting me going now about guitars. I can show you a new. Well, it's not a new guitar because I've had it a week and a bit now. But I've got an eBay bargain, which I might show you. The sequel, says Gray's Herd's Ridge. Well, you can look at those 3 albums, Bells, Ridge and Dawn, as a trilogy, couldn't you? They're a trilogy. I think they're a trilogy. They're very good, very good. They were like my favourites back in '89-ish, or '88. No, it was '88. I was going through a big Oldfield phase. It was '88. It was before I met the missus. Well, I met the missus, but it was before we were going out, or around that Christmas, around that time. And because I used to buy a lot of stuff on tape in those days, and I remember there was oh god, where was it? Was it like Selfridges? Selfridges. They were getting rid of all their tape stock, and I remember getting like QE2 and the other one. There were a couple of Mike Oldfield tapes. I can't remember which ones they were. I know QE2 was definitely one of them. Platinum might have been in it for quids, and that was a good winter. I enjoyed that. And the missus bought me the box set, on cassette, and that was good. Though again, different mixes because they were the quad mix, and again, for those of you who don't know, the quad mix was the mix that they used for Huggies Ridge after they took the original mix out of circulation and replaced it with the quad mix. And that's why when it was reissued a few years back, well, it's probably about 10 years now, you got all these different versions, and he kind of restored it to its original mix, which was kind of cool. Alex says, yeah, Mike is cool. Oh no, I've skipped a bit, sorry. Grant says, Oak Food's okay, lives in the Caribbean. No, he had a health issue, apparently. It kind of got leaked. PRS are super expensive. I could never afford one. No, they're not. They're budget ones. You can pick up a PRS for about there was one in the south for £500. If you look around, second-hand market, very, very, very depressed at the moment. It's very much a buyer's market. There's someone who's trying to sell guitars. And then you can go to the stupid end. But there are stupidly expensive Gibsons. You know, there are stupidly expensive Rickenbackers. Fender aren't as guilty. That's why I like Fender. Alex says, yeah, Mike has quit music for good, yeah. Seamus, a short sample of Tuberose 4 was pretty good. Well, again, that's the statement they put out. And again, there was a health thing. Because he either tweeted or he did something, he posted, and it had the geotag data, and he was in a hospital in the Caribbean when he was talking to his, that private group where I got kicked out of for saying, hey, let's everyone be reasonable, let's calm down about this. I still can't believe that. I was being reasonable, and I still managed to annoy Mike Oldfield. I hadn't even reviewed the album. Then I said it was shit. But yeah, he was in some hospital, like some heart ward or something, in some hospital that the geotagged his photo or his post, and the fans found out. Again, that's just a rumour mind, right? I don't know. I'm just reporting like second-hand, third-hand news. But yeah, I think what's quite telling is Sally Oldfield, his sister, now lives where he lives. So, you can work that one out yourself. Grace said it was a pun on Hergé's Adventures of Tintin. I'm not a Tintin fan, sorry. Not a Tintin fan. I don't know. Have you ever looked at Snowy in his face? Snowy, he always looks worried. You always think, what's Tintin do to him when the lights go out? That's Belgian, isn't he? Belgian? Never trust Belgians. Andrew says, 5 Miles Out was a good album. 5 miles out, just hold your steady true. It's alright. Bit too much singing on it for my liking. Payne says, yes, PRS SE are a lot cheaper range. They are. And I've played them all. I've played the expensive one, which I've still got. I played the cheap one, which I've yet to... I don't think I've posted that yet. That was in Trampus Green. I couldn't keep a guitar that was called Trampus Green. How can I call... I can't take a guitar seriously if it's in Trampus Green. So I sold it. I didn't like the knobs. Didn't like the like the knobs were too fast. They had like speed knobs on the volume, and it's like I just brushed my hand against the knob and the volume would go down. It's like, what the actual what? I've never had a guitar with speedy knobs before. And meanwhile the tone was like really kind of, you had to really turn it. But the volume was just like, it's like, what the actual what? So yeah, that one went. Shame that. I would like to have kept it just to look at it, but these things happen. He said these things happen. But yeah, you can get all manner of PRSs, all manner of them. Alex says, aren't PRS guitars usually orange? The ones Santana swears by. They are in many colours. They can be in blue, they can be in natural, they can be in blue. They could be red and blue, mainly blue. Faded whale blue. That's the one that I've got that I'm probably going to keep. I don't want to keep it, but you know. Rene says we've had Sinterklaas, Avon, Dutch and Belgian tradition, tired now, bit too much scotch. I will further watch in bed. Do they still, you know, Black Peter, do they still, do they? Your neck of the woods? Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, Rene's tucking himself into bed to enjoy the rest of the evening. Come on, 20 viewers and we've only got 6 likes. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. I can beg if you want. If you want me to beg, just send me £1 with the word beg in the message. No? Okay. At this rate, I'm going to show me new guitar. It's gone quiet. It's all gone quiet out there. It's all gone quiet over there. It's all gone quiet over there. And he says, no, they do not do Black Pete anymore. Phew, thank God for that. Phew. I had visions of you, Rene, sitting in bed, you know, with, you know, had too many scotches, forgot to take your makeup off. I had visions. I thought, oh, he's going to get it all over the pillow. He's going to get it all over the pillow. And when he wakes up in the morning, his missus is going to be very annoyed with him. So I'm glad that you don't do that anymore. Does this translate as being funny or not? I'm worried. I'm not hearing any laughter. I'm worried. Dog cam, she's not here. She's not here. I can give you jumper cam. But there's my where have we gone? There's OBS. There's my jumper that it kind of looks like the dog, doesn't it? I really ought to tidy up. The place is a mess. It's mainly dog shit, like dog toys everywhere and guitars and stuff. Really need to tidy up. Mind you, in-laws might be coming on Christmas Eve, so I have to tidy up for the in-laws. You know? I think it's the first time they're visiting in about 2 years, so it's all right, isn't it? Oh, gonna stretch. Oh, I do run out of energy on this. Okay, we'll do the guitar thing. Now this guitar is a bit of an oddity. I wonder what brand of guitar it will be. I wonder. Hello. This, he says, holding it aloft, is of course it's a Fender Coronado 2. Look at it. This is from, crikey, when's it from? Oh, 2015. It's a modern player, I believe. Had a bit of a scratchy on the scratch plate, but hey, that's what's meant to happen. And It's a semi-hollow, which means it's got a centre block running through the middle, but the rest of it is, oops, the rest of it's hollow. So it's a semi. It's like a semi-acoustic. The only problem is it doesn't like my lap. That's just, oh, there's a microphone in the way. Oh, this has all gone wrong. Maybe I can do it with the. Oh no, that's not long enough. How about you? Can you do it? How about that? We can swap cameras. There you go. Look. How about that? Oh, that's in the way. Oh, it's going to fall off. Professional YouTubers don't have this problem. There we go. Shouldn't play too loud because kids. Oh, see, it wants to leave my lap. That's the only problem. So I kind of have to. I can't get comfortable. What if I play it like? No, that's not going to work. Can't see what I'm doing. This is where we go to the other camera. Oh dear. One day I'll learn to play the bloody thing. Yeah, so this is a Fender, what's it called? Coronado 2. Originally it was out in the 60s, the original ones, out in the 60s. And those were totally hollow. But this was reissued, like I say, back, I think about 2013. And they did this one, it's still, like I said, they added a centre block to it. But you could consider it as the kind of the older sister, brother of the Starcaster. Whereas the Starcaster's offset. This isn't. This is Fender trying to do like an ES335. A Gibson trying to do on the Gibson, trying to get on the lovely Gibson lolly, and they've got these filter. Was it what they called? Fidelitron. Is it? That's what they called? Fidelitron pickups, similar to what you find in like a Gretsch, you know. And when you plug it in, it's got a kind of an airy, kind of open sound to it. Pleasant sound. But yeah, its limitations is its shape. It just wants to slip off my lap. It wasn't designed for the lap playing, or my lap is just incompatible with it. But yeah, it's got a rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, lovely binding, and yeah, I got this one off of eBay because the guy wanted to make a deal, and it came to me in a bit of a not a brilliant condition, like all these pole pieces, which are screws. You can unscrew them, take them out. About the first 6 there, rusty. There's rust on this, and so I got them out and gave them a clean off. And got the old sandpapered them and put them back in. The screws here and here, rusty. It's like, how? And because the rest of the guitar was in good condition, one of the couple of bolts at the back, rusty. I actually bought some new ones and replaced them all, because you don't want, again, if you do need to get, again, the neck comes off. You can actually take the neck off of this. It's not a set neck. But if you did want to take the neck off, you don't want a rusty screw, a rusty bolt in there, because, well, you could end up, shredding the screw and not being able to get it off. So I've been, like I said, and also the strap pins, the screws in there, rusty, and the strap pins were rusty, so they came off, and I've trying to restore this into something nice. I mean, it's all right, it's all right. I was looking at getting a Bigsby, putting a Bigsby on it, making it a bit unique. Because at the moment it's a bit similar to the old Starcaster. Starcaster sounds better though. Starcaster sounds brighter. But yeah, bargain. So I wanted to see what it was like, because the Fenders don't do too many, semi-acoustic style guitars. And again, if you want to get an original one, you're looking at over £2,000, and this was not nowhere near that. Like I said, got a bargain on the eBay. Made the man an offer. He accepted. Came in a hard case, which was nice. But again, that was the one of the locks needed to be repaired, so I repaired that and take the rest of it up, because there was some wood there, so I've been Alex says, ever played a Rickenbacker? Saw an interview with Paul Gilbert. He saw Lennon one in a shop. Said it would be cool to solo on one. You couldn't play it around the 10th fret scale, so short. No, I've never played a Rickenbacker guitar. I've got the bass. I've got a Rickenbacker bass, which is nice. But I've never really liked the look of them. They always look a bit big and clunky. And there is an issue. There is a quality control issue with Rickenbackers, I've heard. And if you watch any YouTube videos, I've always been a little bit dubious about the expense of a Rickenbacker, with compared to what you get for your money. I just realised that was in the way. So yeah, again, it's just nice to have the racing green Ricky 4003 bass, which is just. You can see why Chris Squire played the way he did, because it's like very slippery. It's like, oh, and you can slide all over the place. It's like, oh, I can see why he adopted that playing style. But the only Rickenbacker I've been interested in is like the 12 string, like the Birds, that Ricky 12 sound that you get. But again, you're looking at like $2,000 plus, and that's just way out of my league. I'm not interested in really expensive guitars. I like cheap shit. My best guitar is the Purple Peril, which is a Squire Telecaster Deluxe, and I've done some good stuff with that. And it's just weird. It's not the expensive guitars that have the vibe sometimes. Alex says, ever played any signature guitars? Always wanted a Brian May guitar. Bit pricey. Some YouTubers have said Red Specials are good, but a bit gimmicky. Well, again, if you buy a Red Special, you sound like Brian May. You can't help but sound like him. I wanted one when I was about 15, and then I grew up. Again, if I was to get one, I wouldn't get a red one. They do a natural wood one, like a natural finish one. I'd like one of those. If someone would buy me one, I wouldn't necessarily want to buy. Maybe if I saw one second hand, I might pick it up to give it a go. Be funny to do a video, but I've never had an urge, not a single urge to buy a Brian May guitar. I did have the Ed O'Brien Fender. I think I did a review of it on the other channel. Very disappointing that, because it has an inbuilt sustainer. I couldn't get on with it. I didn't like the sound of the pickups. They were incredibly bright, incredibly aggressive. I like a rounder. I like a guitar to be able to do everything. I like it to be able to do the gritty kind of gnarly stuff, but also to have a bottom end if I need it. If I roll down the tone, I want it to be able to do all the things. But the Ed O'Brien Strat was just. I just didn't like it. The neck was the wrong shape. I didn't like the pickups and the sustainer. Very disappointing. I think I needed to set it up properly. I don't think it was set up properly. And I read the manual. Went online. I downloaded the manual and I read it. And there's ways of adjusting the sustainer circuit. I wasn't going to go in there. I'll leave that for the next person. I wasn't going to fiddle with it. So I sold that one. And of course, my other signature one is the granny guitar. He said, to put you down. I'll put you on the floor. The legendary. I said that had a Bernie Marsden PRS gold one. That was nice, but not for me. I did a video of that. You can go watch it on the other channel. That was nice, but again, PRS. And then there's this. This is the funniest. This is probably the greatest signature guitar ever. This is the Shawn Mendes Music Master. And when I saw this, I don't know who Shawn Mendes is, but when I saw that, I just had to have it. And again, this can be bright, this can be all things, and then it can be also fully creamy. And it has like a custom scratch plate, which is just fantastic. And then you've got apparently the artwork was designed by a fan, and it's got a custom design there, and Shawn Mendes' signature on the headstock. Oh, hello, dog. Hello there. We can do some dog cam. Wait a minute. I'm doing this at the moment, and it's just a unique instrument. I just like looking at it. It's funny, but yeah, I'm not one for like. The only other one was, if they don't do them now, but there was an Epiphone, Alex Lifeson Epiphone, which had a tremolo, and wait a minute, I call this one dog sniffing guitar. Look at that. There you go. Some dog cam. You say hello to the audience. Hello, audience. I bet you're thinking to yourself, why did I come back in here? There is no room for me. I'll put the guitar away. Let me put the guitar away, and then you can move around. Eh? Oh, I didn't know you were coming back in. I wouldn't have put it on the ground if I'd known you were coming back in. What, you want to go back out again? Go on in there, you go. Go on. They go in, they go out. They go in, they go out. Tom says, hey Darren, hope you're doing well and fine. I'm still here. Hope you're doing well and fine too. Alex says, do you need Telecasters? Are they as good as people say? I've never played one. Yes, I have what I call the Ultimate Telecaster. Oh, this was a bargain. And this is another in the classic modern player range. Sorry, not classic player. This was cheap, and it's pine. It's a pine body, so it's it's quite meaty, and I got it really cheap, and it looks really expensive. And I pimped out the scratch guard, because the original scratch guard was all scratched up because it's a scratch guard, and I put this funky one on there to make it look more expensive than it actually is. And yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It does all the sounds. So yeah, that's one. And then of course there's my favourite, which is the Purple Peril. And I've had two of these. This is the second one. This is actually one of the Harwood guitars. His one was more purpley and more sparkly than mine. Look at that. Look at that. And this was like what did I get mine for? I guess it was about $340. I think it was. I don't know how much Alan paid for his. But it's a deluxe. It's got two humbuckers in it, and just enjoy the sparkliness of it. It's the most ostentatious guitar ever, but I really like it. It's just a really nice guitar. And I like it, and I like to solo with it as well. It's got a nice sustain. But yeah, I like the Weird and the Wonderful. Of course, we got this one back. Oh, who can forget that? Yeah, did you forget that? Is that swirly enough for you? Yeah. I sold this to Alan, and I did offer to buy it off of him when I heard that he was having a bit of financial problems, but he wouldn't sell it to me, so it came back eventually, I guess. So. There we go. Some guitars. It breaks up the time, doesn't it? Tom Pinks has given me his R's again. Thousand R's. Thank you, Tom. That's very kind of you. It's for the Christmas Lock Fund. Great. Yeah. Nah, it's all right. But any donations are gratefully received. Otherwise, the dog gets it. Don't let him shoot me. Don't let him shoot me. Please. I'll be good. I wasn't going to shoot the dog, honestly. That was a skit. That wasn't real. That wasn't a real dog. And it wasn't a real gun either. It wasn't real. None of it was real. Alex says Clapton had a nice grey signature Strat, which is simple, no frills, no gimmicks. Might be nice to play. Yeah, they had those back out. They had the lace. Was it the lace sensor pickups? I remember them being a thing back in the late 80s. Fuck me. I've been hanging around too long, but I think they're still. I think they might be affordable. Let me have a look. Fender, Eric. I bet there've been quite a few of them. Clapton, Strat, Costa. Ah, that's the one. Is that the new one? Oh no, it's a new one. Bloody hell, that's expensive. I want to go to UK, please. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Let me just pull up the desktop window. Look, you got that. That's a bit spicy for my needs. But there was one in the 80s which had these, like, again, they were called lace sensor pickups, and I bet I can't find one. But I always thought, oh, that looked good. Ah, there it is. Oh, I'm good. No, what? Where's it gone? It's there. I can see a picture of it. Why don't you just put in lace sensor? Lace sensor. Oh, I'm good. I remember these. It was the 80s. Here we go. This, yeah, again, very nice guitar. That's at Fair Deal Music. If you want to buy one, send it to me. It's £1,699. Does it tell you what age it is? Does it tell you? That says 13. That can't be 2013, surely, because they were doing those in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, guitars. It's crazy. Tom says, have you talked about Peter Gabriel yet? I may be bloody late for that. Sorry, I only talked a little bit. I'm going to do a review, don't worry. I'm trying not to. I'm talking broadly about it, you know, because I don't want to spoil it. But I don't know, see, because my review is not going to be the 5-star firing superlatives out my arse review like other people. I'm going to be a bit more, you know, critical about things. Don't get me wrong, it's an okay album for the times, but you know, when you compare it to his back catalogue, it's like I expect more. I expect more from Peter. I want more. I'm just being greedy. Wait for a review. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to do that. I don't want to do it because I worry I'm just going to get people going, oh, you don't like Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel. You know what they're like. I just get tired with the stupidity. The stupidity of the internet wears me out. It's like, oh, come on. It's just a fucking review. I haven't come round and taken a shit on your Peter Gabriel collection. Though it would be good if I could. I'd like that. I'd like that to be like Father Shitmas. Come in and find a record you really like and drop a big one all over it. What do you reckon? I think that'd go down just right. Tom says, I've seen comments calling it his best album. I'm like, bloody hell. It's not his best album. It's nowhere near his best album. I'll put it in this terms. It made me appreciate Up a whole lot more. See, I've been listening not only to this album, and I've listened to it in all the formats. I feel like I've lived it. I've aged, you know. I've aged. I had a full head of hair when I started listening to the album. But I've also been listening to his old albums too. I've been going back and listening to those, so I can compare it and contrast it with the other albums. And this takes time to percolate what I need to say, because we can all just say how brilliant it is. And again, in this ocean of mediocrity that we're currently sailing through, with the Stephen Wilsons of this world out there, it comes across as like he's done Dark Side of the Moon times a million, if you compare it to what's currently doing the rounds. But we must look at this album compared to his own other albums. And is it as good as So? No fucking way. It's not even as good as Up. And it's the same old problems. It's too long. The songs are too long. There's some nice ideas in there. Some of them, I think could do with, as I've said previously, some guest artists to spice things up, to give them a little bit of, a little bit of spice. Obviously, But if you take it on its own and you don't think about his back catalogue and you don't think about anything else, yeah, it's an okay album. Rennie says, I'm finally in bed. Excellent. Nice. Pink says, agreed. I'm not the biggest fan of Up either. No. But what can you do? I know. What can you do? I mean, I think again it's been interesting because of the way he's done it, And one of my big points is there is a right way of listening to this and there is a wrong way. And I imagine everybody's doing it the wrong way at the moment. And there's very few people who are doing it the right way. And that is how you leave people in suspense, because then you've got to watch the review to find out what the right way is. Wow, there's balloons. Where do those balloons come from? What's going on? Did you see that? Did you see balloons? Johnston says, I remember reading a review of Clapton signature Strat in the 90s, expensive but not ridiculous money. Now they're stupidly expensive. Yeah, this is it. All the guitar prices have gone up, even in the last 10 years. I mean, that one I showed you, the Coronado 2, if you were to buy that in America, I mean, if you go on Reverb and look at the sold prices for that guitar in America, it's ridiculous. It's, expensive. But over here, because nobody wants guitars over here, you can shop around, especially on eBay when people are desperate for money, and pick up some bargains. Reverb, I mean, I've had guitars on Reverb that I just can't sell, Pink says, I actually waited for the full thing to be released, but then I saw Bright Side, Dark Side, Inner Side, both sides, and got confused. Yeah, because there are two stereo mixes, and then there's the surround sound mix. Over says, I think the album should be called PG Tips, as it's all the sweeping ups. I might have to borrow that. I don't think it's that bad. This is the thing. I mean, there are some bits to it that I think are really nice. I think work really well. And again, I feel like I repeat myself. This is what happens when artists are allowed to produce themselves. And I don't think enough is made of the importance of the record producer. I wish there was a time when, like I said, Daniel Lanois was allowed to go back into the studio with him, because it might help him, break out of certain things that he does. They're almost like tropes. They're almost, they're bits, like I say, using certain textures and bits and bobs in it that you think, oh, that sounds a bit familiar. And the thing about Gabriel in the past is there was always something new and, like I say, driven by technology, and we've not got that now. And I don't think it's necessarily because musical technology is stalled. I think, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the world of like plugins and stuff like that. I think you've got to be creative, and I think producers. The interesting thing, this is what I say to the missus, is all the old farts produce themselves. And all the young kids who want like pop hits, they get producers in who know how to turn, you know, an idea into, you know, something that's going to get radio airplay. And I don't know why the older artists are scared of producers now. Maybe it's because of the cost. Maybe it's a cost-cutting exercise. Maybe they just think they know better. I don't know, you know. Tom says he does need a producer. You always point out. I know, I can't help it. It's just, you know, it's, you know, if you look at all the albums up until Up, right? The first one is Ezrin, and you can hear it's Ezrin. It's big and bombastic, and it's, you know, it's a certain thing. But boy, did it produce a hit! It produced Salisbury Hill. Then the second album is by the featured artist. It's rough, it's ready, it's immediate, it's a different feeling, you know. And there's an urgency to it. You know that, you know, he's being pushed. There's a real kind of energy to it that you don't get. And you know, every producer comes in and just pushes him in a different direction. With the third album, was it Steve Lillywhite? We've got the gated drum sound. You've got lots of guests on there. Kate Bush, you know, Paul Weller, for Christ's sake. You know, there's, you know, lots of people on there making it what it is, and him using world music for the very first time. Tentative Steps. Then we move to David Lord, and the fourth album. There, the Fairlight sampling. You know, things are being stretched and mixed up, and you've got a whole different sonic palette. And then Lanois comes in with So, and it's just stratospheric. It's just, we've taken off, and you've got all those elements brought in. Everything that's preceding is brought in, from the guest artists to the sampling to the world music. You know, it all just coagulates into the perfect form. And with Us, which is again is an album I really like, because the world music and the guest work is brought to the fore. It's the whole texture of it. Every song has got a different kind of feel to it. And like, say, Sinead O'Connor, she's on there, and among others. And I love that record so much. And Up, you see with Up, he's producing it himself, and you can see, you know, there are guests on there. Blind Boys of Alabama being the most notable, and that sample of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. And you see him moving away. You see him moving away from all that groundwork that's been done, you know, in the 90s. And here we are. And it's kind of moved further away from all of that. And it's quite trad. It's quite traditional. You know, and a lot of the imagination is not there. You know, again, if you listen to something like Growing Up, there's a lot happening in that. You know, not necessarily musically, but texturally. Texture is very important, because, excuse me, there's a wheeze. Because, yeah, you've got so many notes, you know, that you can use. You've got so many chords, so many phrases, so many ways of singing a song. But, and this is what the younger producers know, it's all about texture. It's all about those little buzzy bits that can hook the ear. You know, in the old days, it would have been a melodic hook, but you can't always come up with a melodic hook every time, and so it's a production hook that you know, draw people and go, oh, I've never heard that before. That's different. That's a different way of doing things. And this is what's lacking on that new record. It is really trad. It's really kind of, you know, set in its ways, and that's fine. That's fine. But that's where some of the brilliance is missing, you know. But yeah, I think I've said enough about Peter Gabriel's new album. Go and buy it, or stream it, or something. You know, it's not bad. It's good, but it's not brilliant. Yeah. That's the. Oh God, I've just reviewed it again. I'm going to have to do it again. Okay, so I think we'll end it there. What do you reckon? Should we end it there? I think that's a good point to end. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. Hopefully I've made some of you laugh. If I haven't, I'm sorry. I'll try harder next time. And oops, oh God, I loosened it. That's not what I didn't want to do that. Why can't you just move it slightly? Sorry if I'm sorry. Oh, I shouldn't have moved it. Oh, Pink says, good analysis. I'm behind you on that. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want people to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not here to poo-poo everything. People think I'm here just to poo-poo everything. It's just, oh, God, it's just I've been on this journey for such a long time. It's been a long time. And Gabriel is the first one. He's the first one after, Andrew says time for bed. After, Queen, it was Peter Gabriel. And it was Peter Gabriel that led me on this entire journey. For him, I found Genesis. Him, the featured artist. Via the featured artist, I found that band. So it all springs out from him. All those artists, Laurie Anderson. It's like, oh, Laurie Anderson. I mean, actually, I knew Laurie Anderson before that, but I did know I got Mr. Heartbreak, and who's on there? It's Excellent Birds. This is the picture, and you go, oh, wow, this is all kind of linking up. Laurie Anderson. There we go. So it's this is why I'm kind of too involved in this. Alex says, do you think Genesis will get back together with an A1 Collins on drums and an AIPG? Oh, AI, you mean? God forbid. Kiss did it for their encore apparently the other night on their last show. No, I don't think so. I think Genesis are a bit more sensible than that. Look, they're a band who let anniversaries scuttle by without a care in the world. They do not give a monkeys. They're, I think they know they've done what they've done. I think they're wise. They know how music is. And I think that's it. It's very much over for them. I'd like it to be different, but I can't see it being any different now. Night night indeed. We'll land off. We'll hang up there. We'll end it there, shall we? So yeah, I'm going to try and I should probably do the Peter Gabriel review. I've been kind of holding off because I don't write it, and I just say it, and and I can't edit out the things. And so, but yeah, I've got it in my head. It's in there somewhere. It's been sloshing around, but yeah, it's probably going to be very much of what I've already said. So it's not going to be anything shocking for you guys, the old faithful. So yeah, I'll do it. But tomorrow I'm putting up my Christmas decorations. I might have time. 10 minutes. It'll only take 10 minutes. It does a 45-minute video on Peter Gabriel's new album. And everyone goes, I could have listened to the fucking album in the time I've taken to watch you bald-headed bastard. And I go, yeah, but you wanted my opinion, didn't you? I've got a lot of things to say. And they're all important. Anyway, I'm going to be off. Have a good time. All the time. But if you can't be good, be safe. But more importantly, don't tell your mother. Nighty night.